This is a quick demonstration of the interface of my 3D Guardian. This is the default screen, and this is currently in training mode. The current temperature is 23 Celsius and target temperature is 50 degrees Celsius, and fan is currently 0, so it's not spinning. And there are 5 buttons: up, down, left, right, and leftmost is the select button. So using up and down, you can go from default screen to each sensor one by one, which is currently I only configured smoke, CO, and thermistor. You can add up to 4 extra sensors. Smoke and CO requires 10 minutes to warm up, so for now it shows 0, 0. The top line shows the current value. The bottom line is the trained data. So this device would need to be first trained with the printer, and then it would be used to guard. And third sensor is thermistor, which is supposed to be enclosure thermistor. Current temperature 23, and the range observed so far 23 to 23, so temperature didn't change. And the first number on the second line shows the temperature at which the alarm will be triggered and printer will be shut down. So right now we just set at 20 degrees above the highest recorded so far temperature. So as you can see, it times out to the default screen the way ANET printer does. And then there is also a menu. You can go into menu. It's fully expandable, flexible, multiple levels. So right now it has fan, training, and config top level section. So go into fan. You can, so basically 2 clicks and you can do clear case. So once you hit one more time right click, it will start fan at full speed and will run it for predefined time. I'll show you later how to modify that time. Okay, it timed out. Going back to menu. Also, it is meant to be used at the end of your printing. You just press click and it wait until maybe 1 or 2 minutes until all the fumes are off. And then there is training. By default, when you run it for the first time, it's in the training mode. You can go inside and then you can switch on off training, so switch to Guardian mode. It won't do it initially because it needs at least 10 minutes to warm up the 2 sensors, so there is no date to guard yet. You can update. I don't have time to explain. Basically, you can retrain your printer dynamically. So, and second is fan, training, and config. So right now you can change T-target. So that's your target temperature for your enclosure. Right now it's 50 by default. You can press and hold and can set whatever you want in a specified interval. Let's say I'll set it 27. This is my target, and then click right again to confirm. And sorry, I didn't click. Okay, right. I'm using the same symbols, filled and empty circle, to indicate edit mode and just display mode. And fan time is the time number of seconds the fan will run at full speed when you say clear case. So 300 seconds by default. Just for the demonstration, I'm gonna set at much lower value. Let's say 20 seconds. By the way, it won't go below predefined minimum, which is 10 seconds. But let's do 20 seconds. Right click to confirm, and then left click to go back in your menu. It remembers where it came from. And so that's what we're gonna do. So you can see fan is at 0. I can clear the case. I just finished my printing, so I'm going to menu, which is 1 click, fan, 2nd click, clear case, 3rd click. So you can see fan right away running 100%, and there is timer started, so how many seconds. So I set it to stop it after 20 seconds, but you can set it 300 seconds or whatever it takes to defume your enclosure at the end of printing. So after this time 20 seconds, fan will slow down and it's using PWM control, so it's full control between 0 and 100%. And so it's still in training mode. What else I can show you? How okay, I think I have to wait for 10 minutes until I can get the sensors warmed up, so I can show how alarm can be triggered. And so what else? Fan, clear case. And by the way, fan mode can be the auto, which is default. So basically it's a thermostat, maintains target temperature, which we just changed. By the way, I'm going to demonstrate how this thermostat works. You can click right and then up, down, going through on, auto, or off. So you can completely disable your exhaust fan, put it on auto thermostat, or it's always on. By the way, all these parameters are always saved to permanent memory. So when you shut down the device, power it on, it will remember the latest settings, and all the sensor data is saved as well. So if I don't want to modify anything, I just say left click, so I didn't. So let me demonstrate how thermostat works. So here's a thermistor, you cannot see it, but I'll be touching it now. You see it's actually getting warm. So you can see target temperature 27, so I'll be warming up until fan will kick in, tries to cool down my enclosure. So I'm warming up, just touching thermistor. Okay, fan is speeding up, and it's dynamic. The more the difference of the temperatures, the faster it spins up. If it's slightly hotter than what, in this case it's 30 degrees, and it's adjustable. The sensitivity of the fan, it's adjustable, and it also has hysteresis, so minimizes amount of time it needs to be on and off. So it's hot. I remove my finger from the thermistor, and you can see temperature going down, and there is a hysteresis, so it has to go down slightly below, and now fan spins down. So it's meant to maintain temperature, because there is no fan, no heating, no enclosure, so obviously it doesn't work exactly as it's supposed to, but it demonstrates the feature. And yeah, so let me wait a few more minutes until COS sensors will start producing data, and then I can show how the alarm works. So thermistor so far shows current 24 degrees, but it already recorded there was a range of train data between 23 and 30 degrees Celsius, and it would only trigger alarm when it reaches the highest temperature plus 20 degrees, which is 50. This is an adjustable parameter. Alright, let's pause for a second. Alright, 10 minutes later, I switch off the light, so you'll see better the LEDs in the background. They are green, you just power on. Yellow means it's training mode. It reminds you it's not guarding, it's only training. And there is also red one, which will be used for warnings and alarm. And you can see, if you go to sensor data, smoke already has value 97, and recorded 95 to 97. CO 119 to 122 so far, and thermistor is as before 2330. Alright, so now it will actually allow me to switch from training to guarding mode. So click menu, one level down, training, on off. So I'm gonna switch off, so which means I'm switching to guarding, and yellow LED will go off. Alright, so now you can see it's guarding. And thermostat fan control works both in guarding and training mode. It's just for the alarm printer shutdown, you have to be in guarding mode. And so what I can show now, how to trigger alarm. So temperature right now, the trigger would be 50 degrees, which no, actually I cannot do that. So instead so I noticed these CO and smoke sensors, they actually increase the value if you touch them. I don't know if it's humidity or something, maybe some organics from my fingers, and that can be used to trigger an alarm. Of course, once you train properly, it will cover a much wider range of environment inside heated enclosures, so alarm will not be triggered so easily. But looking again, so smoke and CO, just a very slight increase should trigger first warning and then alarm. Alright, so I'm going to touch one of those sensors. Let's see what's going to happen. So just slightly modifying. Okay, warning. I don't know if you saw, the red LED is supposed to start chirping. Very briefly eliminating. If I had my piezo attached, which is not currently attached, it would also chirp every 10 seconds. Very short chirp would sound. It's like precursor of an alarm, so it tells you something is going okay. Again, I pressed again, it's again warning. And if you keep pressing, I'm gonna trigger alarm now. So I'm pressing really hard on my sensor, and I think, yeah, so alarm, and you can see red LED. And unlike warning, which can go on and off, alarm cannot be disabled. So if my power module was connected and my printer was connected, it would be shut down at this point. The LED is flickering and I'm flashing. The piezo element would drive the full loudness, very loud alarm, audible, and printer would be shut down. And the only way to bring it back to life is power cycle the Arduino module. This is by design. So once it goes into alarm mode, there is no bug or anything would prevent printer from being powered up again. So it's powered down for good until you power cycle this unit. And finally, okay, let me power cycle. Right now it's powered from USB, but from the computer. Okay, so it was actually a bit of warning at that point, but now it's just back to Guardian mode. And going through the history, we see there was okay, smoke. Okay, so that's the history we've seen so far. And so what I was going to show was that you can guard, for example, you train it in the winter, and then in the summer temperatures are higher and you start getting warnings because of whatever sensor reading. So it's normal, it's not precursor of a fire, it's just environment change. So you can retrain, just switch back to training mode, but actually there is an easier solution. If you've been running printer for a while and then start to get a warning, you just go to menu, you go to training, enter training, and then there is one layer, update. Basically you update the training data, which is stored in permanent memory, with the current Guardian data from the moment you turn on this device. You've been printing and you start getting warnings, so you can say update. Voila. So if you now switched through those sensor data, all those maximum limits now updated to reflect the current Guardian data, not just the old training data. So you're retrained very easily without the need to run it again in training mode for many hours, maybe days. So yeah, that's about it. And there'll be some extra features which I'll be showing once I put everything in a proper enclosure, add piezo buzzer, fan enclosure, probably extra sensors, and at some point I will add the Wi-Fi connectivity, so one should be able to shut down printer remotely and maybe do some other online tasks.